Good evening, good evening, good evening. Let me stop the music, find out where I got it playing at. All right, I hope all is well. I hope everybody having a great evening. I think today I'm going to share with you all one of my actual deals that I had that I completed, my case study that I made pretty good, healthy return on investment off of in a real quick short time. Real estate is a fun, I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm LaTerrence Williams, Coach T, and I'm excited because you're here and you have opportunity to hear just how I won by investing in real estate, right? This is one of my first properties. It wasn't the first property of all. I started in 2017. But this is one of my most exciting properties. What if I was able to tell you that there's a way for you to get started in real estate and make money immediately? Like once you buy it, it is. Now, that's how it was when I first got into real estate, right? You can make money immediately. You didn't have to wait. You didn't have to pass go. You didn't have to figure out anything else. You made money immediately, right? And the way you make money immediately is you buy at the right price. If you buy it at the right price, you have opportunity to earn money, a return on your investment right then and there, right then and there. And that's what happened with me, right? So how to get started with your first real estate investment property within 7 steps. All right, now I'm trying to control people coming in, so excuse me, you don't got to be perfect at this business. I'm trying to also, as well as not to control people coming in, I'm also trying to make sure that I keep y'all balanced. So I got screens everywhere, more people joining. So I'm gonna try, let me move this thing around because it's coming in an awkward place. All right, so first slide. So the first thing and most important thing is your mindset. Then we're going to talk about finding properties, talk about ROI, which is return on investments, find a property manager, a contractor, inspections, acquisitions, and bank refinance and repeat. So this method involved the BRRRR, all right? It's called the BRRRR methods. And when you look at the BRRRR method, it's like, hey, you buy it, you rehab it, you refinance it, you rent it out, you refinance it, then you repeat it over and over again. That's BRRRR. Right? Do it over and over again, right? And that's how you build wealth. That's how you build a 7-figure income. That's how you build passive income. And that's how you able to retire early. So for the most part, I believe in more strategies to help you retire early, right? That's it. It's not anything else. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with your job. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with the life. There's nothing wrong with the government. There's nothing wrong with anything. I just wanted to come up with a strategy where I can get in, make a little money, passive money, and then retire. And when I retire happy and not saying, oh, I got to be on a set freaking payment schedule. I have to be able to strategically pay my electric, my water, and pay my car off. All the stuff I hear my mom said before she retired, before I retired her. All the things I heard other folks say before they retired that, oh, I'm on a set income. That's ridiculous. You work all your life to be on a set income. I would never understand it, right? So that's not my goal and that's not yours. So I hope that's why you're attending this, because you hope to gain some knowledge. I hope that whoever invited you or however you found out about us, that you find this to be engaging and loving and caring and somebody trying to help you. And I want you to think about a couple of things. So those are some questions that you can think about. When do you plan to get started, right? Are you trying to get started next year? You know, you're on the wrong call, right? If you're trying to get started next year, you're on the wrong call, right? Just go ahead and leave this call. Go ahead and leave YouTube channel. Go ahead and leave Facebook because you're wasting your time. The best time to get started is now. Don't wait now, right? The participant can see your screen. Outstanding. I hope the participants see my screen. All right. So those are a couple questions that you can go ahead and think about, and then we're going to move forward. So define what you do, right? So right now, you can make money in real estate so many different ways, right? But the most important thing I would say to get started is you got to set goals, right? That's the first thing you have to do is set goals. When you set goals, you have to look at that from so many different angles, right? Your goals can be personal, financially, health, right? You want to worry about your health, and then you want to worry about your long-term goals, right? So you can have 20 years out, 10 years out, 7 years out, 5 years out, right? Whatever you consider long-term for you. Everybody have a different place in life where they at, right? So long-term for a person that's a 20-year-old can be 30, 20 years out. Long-term for a 50-year-old, maybe 5 years out. Different ways of thinking about it. So that's a mindset shift, right? So you got to get yourself out of the box. You can't look at somebody else's window and say what long and short is. You have to look at your individual position, right? Then after you figure out what's your goals, how many properties you want, why you want these properties, what you plan to do for these properties, are you doing this for wealth building only? Or are you doing this for passive income now? Or are you doing this for tax benefits now? Or are you doing this for because you have so much money in the bank, or you have so much money that's you just not making a return on investment? You want to plant your money with other people and make a passive income based off of being a private money lender, right? So it's so many different ways to make money in this business. So I hope you had a chance to look over some of these things, right? So then you want to think about what area of town do you want to start investing in, right? Everything's not equal. Everything's not equal. Some people like to be in the millionaires area, right? Fine, great, high risk, right? High risk, high money, high rewards. Some people like to do the working class people, medium risk, medium reward. And some people like to be in the lower class, low risk, low reward, right? So it's just like a stock. I look at homes, properties, real estate as a stock. That's how I look at it. I look at it as a stock. Either you got to buy it at the right price, which is under market value. That's buying it in the money, right? You buy it under the market money, you're making money off of it. If you buy it at market money, now you got a problem. Now you're not making no money. You just got something you're building wealth with, right? You just building some wealth. You gain an asset, you bought at market value, you only can build wealth from there, right? You're not going to make any money immediately because you're going to get a return on your investment slower. Right? And if you buy it overpriced, you just lost money, you just messed up. Oh, wow, what did you just do? Right? And if you don't understand that strategy on how to fix that situation, you're in a bad situation for at least about 3 to 5 years before you even get in the money to be saying, oh, okay, I'm breaking even. And then later on before you make money. And that happens. Now, I do buy properties at market value, but I will not buy properties with any money down. I'm going to get it subject to the existing loan. Whatever that mortgage is, whatever that market value is, I will take over your loan and start paying it off. All right? So that's when I don't buy it at market value, right? But most of the time I want to buy it below market value, bottom line, right? Purpose. Again, you need to understand your purpose. I just broke it down on a couple things. That's your purpose. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to get tax benefits? Are you trying to get passive income now? Are you trying to get a cash flow now? Are you trying to not pay so much taxes? All right. And then you got to look at your methods. Like I just said, subject to the existing loan. Wholesaling. I want to make a fee for just connecting two people up. A person with a problem with a person with a problem. One person needs to sell a house. One person needs to buy a house. I want to be connection dot, right? And I don't want to steal their equity. I want to tell them, I'm going to buy your house for this price and do it, right? Most real estate agents go out there and basically whatever equity you have in the house, that's what they're going to take out. And that's how the broker get paid out of the equity, right? That's the difference between a wholesaler and a real estate agent. A real estate agent is basically taking the equity out of your house and they're capitalized on it. If there's no equity in the house, then you got to pay out of pocket to them, or the seller or the buyer that buying the house got to pay the real estate agent, right? That's the difference. But the seller is the one that write the contract with the real estate agent. So they're responsible. But if they got a good real estate agent, they're going to make it find a way for the buying person to pay them instead of that seller pay them. If they're a good real estate agent. If not, they don't care. They just trying to make money. They don't care. Now, if you have a lot of equity in your property, then they're going to take your equity out the property, and that's how they're going to get paid out of equity. A wholesaler don't take your equity. A wholesaler tell you straight up, this is how much I'm going to buy your house for, this is how much I'm going to put in the contract for, And that you don't care about how much they get paid because you already made a contract with that wholesaler for how much you're willing to sell your house for. So they're not stealing your equity. They're not taking your equity. They're not doing any under the cover stuff. They're saying, hey, I'm going to find somebody to get your property off of you if you agree to make this contract with me for this fee, right? And then now I go do some other stuff and I make my money off that person that want to buy the property. That's the difference between the biggest difference, in my humble opinion, between a real estate agent and a wholesaler. I am a wholesaler. I do wholesale houses all the time. I help people with problems that want to get rid of their problems. They have a problem. They don't want to have to pay me to get rid of their problem. The seller don't want to pay me to get rid of their problem. The seller do not want to give me money to get rid of their problem. They just want their problem gone. So I don't take anything from the seller. The seller keep whatever they got, just write a contract with me for this property. I go find somebody willing to pay me what I'm willing to sell a property for over the amount that the seller is willing to take for the property. That's it. No stealing, no back door, no taking from nobody else, no messing over nobody, no misunderstandings. Just that simple. Just that simple, guys. Just that simple. All right. So buy and hold, flicks and flip. All right. So I said that. So some people, when you wholesale them, you have an opportunity to make a fee. Not no 8%, not no 3%, not no 6%, whatever fee you decide that somebody willing to pay for you. Whatever fee, you can put your own number, 10,000, 20,000. If the house have that much equity in it and can fit that, and that investor or that end buyer would like to buy for that, you make that lump sum of money. Wow. Freaking outstanding. So if you get 20 grand, let's say you get 20 grand, right, for doing a wholesale fee. Guess what? You can use that money to buy your first rental. What? I can use other people's money to buy my first rental? Yes, you can. That's how you do it, right? And then after you do this a couple times, you got so many rental properties and you got a passive income, you don't want your money to sit in the bank and be lazy and get fat and just keep growing in the bank, because the bank is lending your money out for 22%, 18%, 15%, 12%, 8%, and you making a measly 0.001 or 0.05. Why give the bank all the opportunity to leverage your money when you can leverage your own money and you can pay people like, hey, Coach T, you got a deal out there that I can do a private money investing deal on? I have all this money I'm making off my rental properties. I don't want to just sit in the bank. I'd rather make a bigger return on my investment. The money I've got in the bank, I'd rather let you borrow that money, work on that property, fix and flip it, and then get a return on your money in 6 to 12 months. 6 to 12 months, you can make an 8%, a 10%, a 12% return. No more 0.01%, 0.05%, 0.001% that the bank giving you on your money. Now you can make the same interest rate that the bank is making off their money. 8%, 10%, 12%, right? 8 to 12% on your return on money that's you sit in the bank that's lazy, ain't doing nothing. Freaking sound beautiful to me. If they don't sound beautiful to you, I don't know what to say. That just sound beautiful, right? That's the whole class right there. I ain't got to do no more, all right? But look, I'm going to go ahead and give y'all some stuff, how to find properties. You can work with a real estate agent, right? You can comb the MLS system. Right now, the market has shifted again. The market has shifted again. So now it's deals on the MLS that you actually can capitalize on. And if you find a real estate agent that you can work with, then guess what? That can be a great, powerful tool to go out there and write offers for you all day long, because they have a fiduciary law that say they have to do that for you. Write the offer regardless if they agree with it or disagree with it. And as a buyer, you can have them write all day long. You have no commitment to them. They have no commitment to you unless you sign a contract. I wouldn't sign a contract with them because I want to be using whomever want to use me. I want to work with whoever will work with me. I don't want to work with one real estate agent until they prove they worth the salt that they have, right? Until they prove that they know how to be coachable and trainable. And until they prove that they're investing in themselves. If they're not investing in themselves, I don't want to work with them anyway. Other than that, then I can only use you and get rid of you because you don't know what you're doing, right? You just don't. Unless you invest in yourself, You know how the investor think, and you can do deals. If you're not investing yourself, why am I working with you? I'm training you and coaching you and teaching you. So if I got to train, coach, and teach you, then I don't want to sign a contract with you until you get to a point where I want to be liable for your decisions. That's just me. You do what you want, right? You also have other ways of finding it. You have investors out there that's already looking for deals, right? They're already looking for deals. They already want deals. So if you go talk to investors, they telling you what to go look at. You go find the deals where they tell you to look at. That's simple. Too freaking easy. Too freaking easy. That's a couple ways you can get it. MLS, find investors that want properties, go look for them properties. That's a couple ways you can do it. They tell you where they're shopping at. All right, so return on investments. What's important about return on investments? When it comes to stocks, you make an average of 6 to 8% return on your investment. My son and I talked about stocks the other day, right? I explained to him that stocks is a rich man's game because when you're a poor man and you're trying to make money, you cannot afford the stocks that are going to give you the big return on your investment for the first part, right? So you got to do all your research, study the stock, study the research, understand it, put your money into it, and let it grow slowly because you ain't got a lot of money. You just started working. If you're 25, 26, you got a college. You ain't got a lot of money, right? So you're not going to put all your money that you're making from one job into that stock market, right? So you got to put a little bit of your money in there. And you're not going to buy the most expensive stock because you just started working. So you're going to buy the ones you can afford, play around, learn, and then when that money turns over a couple of years, you may buy up and trade up, right? So that's a slow and steady ebbs and flows, because the market is controlled by the government and other entities, right? It's not covered that like, hey, this ain't something you just control. It's a lot of outside influence on what the market bears, right? So you're only going to make 6 to 8% return on your investment on an average. With real estate, you can make it easily 10 to 12%, and that's considered a good investment. A good investment, 10 to 12%. Now, remind you that I just told you that banks make 22%, 18%, 15%, 12%, 8%, and so on their money, right? You have an opportunity to do what the banks do. You have an opportunity to become a bank with your money. And if you start in real estate, you have opportunity to buy an asset at the right price and get a great 10 to 12% return on your money. And if you get a good 10 to 12% return on your money, you're doing excellent in real estate. That's good. Now, you get more than that, you're doing freaking amazing. So this is a quick case study right quick. And this Morris Clayton is who I got this from. I mean, I did a lot of research when I first started. I love his little formula with the 12 months multiply time the rent. The 0.60% is how much you want to, say that, hey, this is how much money you're going to base it off of, and everything that's going to go to 40% going to go to the taxes, the insurance, the vacancies, the maintenance, and the management. So if you want to be conservative and say 40% of the money is going to go, hey, this is going to go away. I'm not going to make this money. This is how much money I'm going to make, right? You're going to have vacancies. You got to pay taxes. You got to pay insurance. And if you're a great real estate investor and get to the point where you don't manage it and you want to make a passive income, you got to pay a management. You got to pay a property manager. And once you pay the property manager, they're going to take over that headache. And now you got somebody doing your bookkeeping for the property, which is perfect, right? Perfect. You want somebody to do your bookkeeping. You don't want to do that crap. It's boring, right? You don't want to talk to tenants about a toilet that stopped up. You don't want to talk to a tenant about all of this stuff. So once you get to a property manager, then you're great. Now you're making a passive cash flow income, which is perfect, right? So 40% goes to all the other stuff, right? So that's your number. So Earl Street is the house that we're going to talk about today. I rented it out for $810 a month. So if you look at that time, 12 months, that's $9,720 a month, right? And then when you look at 0.6%, so I get to keep about $5,000, right at $6,000, right? And if you look at the cost of the property, the total cost of the property, $48,000, and you divide that by the 583, the part that I'm keeping, the part I'm making, I got a 12% return on my investment, right? Pretty good deal, right? To get that return on your investment, you look at your total cost of how much it costs, and then you look at how much money you're making off of it, and that's how you get your ROI, right, for the year. All right, so starting now. In order to start, you cannot start anything studying only. You can't start anything reading only. You can't start anything listening only, right? Getting on these calls and listening to other folks. You start by being committed to start taking actions. You start by taking steps towards what you're trying to do, whether it's going on MLS and just looking at houses and writing down the ones you like, downloading, whether it's starting to call people on the phone and saying, hey, are you interested in buying real estate? Is it whether you go out there and start posting on your social media site, say, I'm interested in real estate, who else is interested? Let's start talking and let's start conversating about deals and let's start analyzing deals together. The best way to get started is now and to start taking actions, not just listening, not just researching, start doing the small things like finding houses, looking for properties, then figuring out what is a good deal, and then figuring out how to calculate that good deal up, right? And then no time like today. It's no time like today to start, right? If you are 80% sure, school system says you pass with a C if you got 80% correct. Make a decision. Make a decision. Why wait till 100? You're never going to be 100%. So go ahead. If you got 80% information, make a decision and start, right? So right now, I would tell you the first thing I would do if I was you, I would start looking on MLSs. I would start looking at for sale by owners. I would start looking at those houses and seeing what those houses are going for and what they're asking for. Then find out the comps, right? Find out comps. Seeing what the houses in the neighborhood are going for. You find 3 comps that's comparable to that one that you're looking at, that start giving you what the house is worth afterwards. What houses are selling for in that area is a comp, right? And what the house is offering for is one thing. What they offer is not important at all. What they're selling for and what it's worth is the next thing. So once you find out 3 houses in that area that's selling for that amount, that's sold for that amount, then you can look at that one house that you're looking at, that you're combing the MLS, combing it for sale by owners, and looking at it to compare the numbers. And once you start comparing those numbers, then you start getting on a path to say, well, this ain't no deal because the houses are selling for this amount and they're asking for so much more, right? Now, whatever the houses are selling for, you want to get it for 60 to 70% off that price. 60 to 70% times whatever the house is averaging selling in the area. You want to get that house that you're trying to buy on a contract for 60 to 70% of that price. And it's a way to do that. I know that sounds crazy, but it's really easy. All right, so once you get a house on a contract and everything, the next thing you must do is you must go out there and you got to inspect it, right? You got a time period to inspect. So you want to inspect that property and see what exactly going on with it, what need to be done, what been done. You can ask questions. Hey, when the last time you updated this house? What part of your house updated, right? When you're on the phone, you can ask these questions before you can get there. You can say, hey, you got any live pictures or how old are these pictures if you're looking at pictures, right? And then you go over there and try to figure out about how much it's going to cost, right? How much it's going to cost to get some of those things fixed, right? And once you know that, you'll kind of know ideal and concept of what the BRRRR, if you decide to do BRRRR, what's your refinance? When you try and refinance, can you get your money back, right? That's a whole nother story. I'm just giving you a little nicks and picks of it right now. Can't get in the weeds of things with this, but I'm just saying that those are some things that you want to know up front. You want to see when the last time it was updated. You want to see about what need to be fixed, what have not been fixed. And you want to get some pictures so you can have some stuff, because pictures speak 1,000 words. And you can ask these questions on the phone, right? Now you find a manager. Get a look here. It's so easy to find a manager, guys. I literally wrote out a whole bunch of property manager questions. You can go online and download questions to ask property managers, right? And you start calling the nice property managers in your subdivisions, in your community. I don't care. Call them, ask them. Are you taking on new clients? What do you upcharge them? Do you pay for? Do you upcharge me for maintenance? Right? Do you give me what the maintenance is going to be? If somebody come fix on my property, or are you gonna charge me extra $50, extra $100? Do you do background checks? Do you do credit checks? Do you run out to people and collect money when they don't pay? Ask this question up front. Do you do the bookkeeping? Right? Is there extra fee for it? This is an easy question that you can ask and find out. And you have not because you ask not. So if you ask, you get the answer. All right. So just ask them so you can know. And once you talk to like 3 or 4 property managers, you'll find out. And the most important question when asked is, how do you give a discount for how many properties? So upfront, they're gonna say 10% profit. All right. But you say, do you get a discount on how many properties? So if I get 5 properties, do I get an 8%? Do I get a 6%? How much of a discount do I get for how many properties? And that'll help you out to know how many properties you should be aiming for to get so you can get the best rate. The best rate. Even if you decide to manage them yourself for a while, at least you know what to aim for in the future, right? All right. So after you do all those steps, you just repeat them over and over again, and you keep your cash flow going, right? You get your property manager, you work with the bank, you refinance it, and then you do that cycle all over again. You go out there and you wholesale, you make more money, you go buy your own rental property, you fix and flip it, or you fix and keep it. Then you go out there, you find a manager, that you already got a manager, let them manage it, and then you move out the way. Let them find a tenant, let them do all that stuff. You get out the way. You go out there and find more deals. Get out the way. Stop trying to save a couple pennies. Get out the way. Let them folks have that. And you go find another deal, and you go find another deal so you can get that percentage discount for what your properties are worth. And then you're making a passive income. Now you're going to work every day, keeping your regular 9-to-5 job. You're happy, you're excited because the same money you're making every month by working for it, you're making it passive with other money. And when you start getting your bank account growing, that's when you start saying, hey, Coach T, you got any fix and flips I can send this money over to so I can make a return on my investment? I want to make it 10%. I want to make it 12%. I want to be a bank. The money going to bank, I'm not making any money off it. Just sitting in the bank. It ain't doing anything. I need this lazy money to go work. I need to exercise. I wanted to go out there and bring some more buddies back, right? That's what you want. So let's go into some details. All right, okay. Let me speak about this. Cash flow. So it's 4 ways to be wealthy in real estate. 1, cash flow. Each month you making more money than what your expenses is. So after taxes, after insurance, after maintenance, and after management, you making $200 a month. That's cash flow. If I'm making $200 a month after all my bills and expenses paid, and I'm making that over and over again, that's cash flow. All right, you got appreciation, cannot be predicted, but guess what? If you buy it right now, your great-great-grandma's house, whenever they bought it for one price. If they was to buy it today, it would not be the same price they bought it for. Your great-great-grandma bought it for. That's the best way I can look at appreciation. Well, if folks bought it for back in the past, you cannot buy it for the same now. So over time, if you buy something today, 10 years down the road, it can be worth more, no matter what. No matter what. That's appreciation, right? Now, which pace it goes is a different story, but it will appreciate some shape, form, or fashion. All right, tax benefits, income tax differently, rented. Oh yeah, so rental properties are taxed differently than your home you live in, right? Rental properties get tax break. You get depreciation charge. I want to say like 27%, 27 times something, the amount of years you keep it or whatever. And that's how they're going to deduct it. And every year you get a depreciation over that course of time. That's stuff that you don't know until you get into real estate, until you got a tax man to teach you that, right? It's some kind of calculation they do to depreciate the property. So every year you get a depreciation charge. So your house is like tearing down, right? The ground is depleting. Stuff is going on and you get rewarded for that. That's a benefit. That's money, moolah. Right. And then you got amortization. If you got a loan on your property, and let's say today I bought a property for $50,000, in 10 years is not $50,000. And the tenant paid that money. The tenant been paying the principal. The tenant been paying the insurance, the taxes. So over that 10-year period of time, now that $50,000 may be $40,000. Right. Let's just come up with a number, $40,000. So now you got $10,000 in equity. Okay, in 15 years, that now you're paying more towards the principal. So now in another 10 years, another 15 years, let's say another 15 years, now you at 35,000. Wow, I just went from 50 grand to 35,000 and I didn't do anything extra. The tenant been paying all that off. Now I got all this equity. Beautiful, guys, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So 4 ways to make money and build wealth in real estate. And I'm gonna capitalize on the amortization again. So I use 15 years for a reason. If you have a child and you buy a house, 15 years down the road, guess what? Your child is 15 years old. 9 times out of 10, you want to buy them a car at 16. Wouldn't it be nice to borrow against that line of credit, the equity in that house, get a lock, LOC, a line of credit against it? Because you can't do a HELOC because it's not your personal house. It's a business line of credit, right? So if you got a house in a business name, a commercial loan, you get a lock, a LOC, a line of credit. You take that 15 grand and you can borrow against it. You ain't got to buy them 15. You ain't got to buy them an expensive car. You can buy them $10,000 car. Oh yeah. Guess who paying that back? The tenant. Tenant paying the mortgage, tenant paying that back too. I'm just saying, it makes sense to me. All right, so benefits of investing. All right, cash on cash return, which is cash flow, higher than the stock market, right? I told you 6 to 8% on stock market, you're getting a 10 to 12%. That's great. 10 to 12% is great in real estate. All right, but it's good. It's good. I ain't gonna say great, good, right? Good start. It's better than the stock market. Hope for appreciation. You will appreciate. You get definite tax benefits because you're hiring people now. You're paying people to do work. You're making money. When folks go to your house and work on your property, you're going to W-9 them. Once you W-9 them, now you get to carry it as a tax benefit. Now, if you made $100,000 at the end of the year, all these people you paid off and all these people that are working for you, it drops your money down. I'm not a tax man, so check with your tax advisor about it. But hey, if I paid 30 grand and I made 100 grand and I paid 30 grand in expenses, guess what? I'm only getting taxed on 70 grand. Wow, I'm in a different tax bracket just because of that now. Thank you, God. Thank God. All right. So loan getting paid down, that's amortization, and then good location. If you in a sought out area and everybody want to come there, people willing to pay you more. If you're in a sought out area that everybody want to live at, people willing to pay you more. Outstanding, outstanding. So here's my analysis right here, right? So Earl Street, I'm gonna give you some of my personal information right quick. You're gonna see some good stuff right here. So the listing of Earl Street was listed for $48,000 in 2017. All right, September. December, I purchased it for $26,000. It appraised for $38,000. Remember what I told you, make money when you buy at the right price. If you buy it at the right price, you make money. The house appraised for $38,000. I bought it for $26,000. I just made money. I just made money, right? I just made money. In 2018, the house caught on fire. The house was not. I think I did it 30,000. I think I hit the house for $30,000 insurance. $30,000 worth of insurance on the house. Let me let somebody in. So with $30,000 worth of insurance on the house, and I paid 26 for it, and then somebody was renting it out for that little 2 or 3 years or whatever, a year or whatever, then guess what? They paid it down a little bit. So when the insurance paid me, right, they paid the bank whatever the balance was, and I got the difference. So I got another like 4 grand or 5 grand or something like that. I can't remember. So they caught the house on fire and I got 5 grand. I bought the house for $26,000. The house appraised for $38,000. I immediately refinanced the house and got all my money back, and I got paid that time too. I forgot to tell you that. House was listed for $48,000. I paid $26,000 cash. I went to the bank and got a loan on the house for that money. They gave me, they listed for $38,000. They gave me money back. I got money. I got paid to buy the house. They paid me to buy the house. The house caught on fire. The house was paid down a couple dollars. Boom, I got more money back again after that. I got like $4,000 or $5,000. I can't remember. I got $4,000 or $5,000 after they set my house on fire. I literally used cash to work on the property again. And after, where my mouse at? No, my mouse at. Oh, it's all the way over there. All right. So right here, I worked on a house in 2019. The house now appraised for $68,000 because totally good out. Brand new house, basically, to everybody else. Let me let somebody else in. All right. I gutted the house out completely, remodeled the house. The bank, I received a check for $48,000. The work completed, it only cost me $42,000. I made money again, guys. I made money again. That's why I'm telling y'all about Earl Street. I made money again, right? I paid the contractor $3,000 out of that money, and I still had money in my pocket. I used that as a down payment on one of my trucks. All right, so my company, Williams Realities, there's the numbers, right? After repair value with 34,000. What year this was? I want to make sure y'all know that I'm not lying. 2019, I bought the house for $26,000. This is Deal Automator. This is what I use to scout houses and buy houses. Kobe Sperber from the Clever Investor. I bought it from him, and I've been having it ever since. I actually rent this out to people that want to do it. You can do deal analyze. You can manage your property. You can do sell your property through there to other people, other wholesalers. But that's pretty much it. That $7,000 when it caught on fire, I went and told them, hey, the house ain't worth nothing. It's just land. So they moved it down to that. All right. It was 2 bedrooms when I first got it, 1 bath. Now I made it 3 bedrooms. That's how I got it appraised for more. All right. Here's the numbers again. $27,000 with First Guarantee Bank in 2018. That's how much the loan was. I had it, like I said, I put $30,000 worth of insurance on it. That's how I got money back. That was a standalone loan. Later on, when I refinanced it, after I refinanced it, that's the money that the loan was for. Remember, I got a check for $46,000, but the loan was all the closing fees and all the other stuff was $51,000. It appraised for $68,000. It appraised for $68,000. They're not gonna give me the whole $68,000. They kept so much equity, 20% equity, and then with all the taxes and fees and closing costs, I had a $51,000 loan, but they gave me a check for $46,000. All right, so here go Earl Street again. I wanted to show you the area. It's right across the street from the park. Again, this is Deal Automator. You can print stuff out. You can save it. You can bike it. You can do a lot of things in that process, right? All right, I wanted to show you our rehab evaluator, private money lender. These are some links and stuff that you can use. The way I do my properties now, Fund and Grow. Let me go throw some money out there, right? I got $100,000 with Fund and Grow with the credit card, business credit. They went out there and did all my shopping. I paid them like $4 grand. They gave me $100 grand, right? $100 grand of business credit, lines of credit on credit cards. That's how I do all my work on my properties. So everything is paid through credit cards and I pay them off in a month. And if you check this out, you know, they do everything for you. So it's a beautiful thing. Fund and Grow, no problem with Fund and Grow. I appreciate Fund and Grow for what they did with me and for me. And they still working with people. So I got referral links for people that's interested in Fund and Grow. But if you want business lines of credit, I definitely encourage you to take on them. And they do it everything for you, done for you in a 12-month time period. So this was me just saying thank you. Let me go over here, Twitter. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram. This is my Williams Reality Company right here. I'm gonna go past all this. I'm not gonna worry about that. Quicken Books, I definitely expect you to do that. I do have a book out there called Why Wait to Be Great. Perfect book to teach you how to get started and start investing now. All right, let's go into Earl Street. Here's the case study. Here's what I want to share with you. Here's some of the trash at the end. Now, I have not won that house at all, right? Somebody else had to do all that stuff. All right, here's a couple burn out the rooms. When they all got burnt out, you see the smoke and everything. You see the trash. Somebody cleaned all this stuff out. Here's a hallway to somewhere. I can't remember what that hallway to, but it's all busted up and dirty, right? That's the burnt room. Here's the room where the actual damage at. Somebody put a space heater in the freaking closet, plugged up a space heater in the closet, and there was some tenants and they set my house on fire. That's basically what they did. They did not consider arson, they just considered the people slow. I mean, I'm being honest. As you can see, it's no structural damage, right? It was no structural damage, just a little smoke damage. That's with the house. That's the house. Again, I didn't go in there. I wasn't breathing none of this mess in. Somebody else had to breathe out in it. Mostly smoke damage. All right, this is when they started gutting it out from me. More pictures of them gutting it out. Again, I never walked in this house. Somebody else did all this mess. I didn't do none of this stuff. I actually didn't even live there. I was out of town the whole time. I was living in, I don't know if I was in Mississippi. I think I was in Mississippi the whole time this was getting done. All right, just showing y'all a couple pictures of how bad it was. It was pretty ugly. All right, here's the new pictures. Kitchen. That's part of the back wall of the kitchen. It's part of the kitchen right here. The kitchen. The backyard, I put a brand new HVAC on there. It didn't have an HVAC at first. I put an HVAC on there, had window units at first, had a big, nice backyard. Here's the bathroom now. Here's the front room. Here's the hallway to the bathroom. I just opened the linen closet instead of wasting money on doors. I left the doors open. Here's one of the bedrooms. That's the bedroom that caught on fire, actually. Right, here's nope, this is the bedroom that caught on fire. The other bedroom was a master bedroom. So here's a bedroom, bathroom, hallways. And like I said, I didn't put no doors on. I just put the linen closet where you can put the linen in there. All right, this is how the house was when I first bought it. This is the house when I was rented out. And this is the house after it caught on fire and I redid it. As you can see, I moved all this stuff out of there. Took that little picture window out, and I put 2 smaller windows in there and put a board in between. Saved on money. All right. The before, the after. This the back wall and before. This the during. this was before and during, and then this the after. All right. So we did a lot of work on that problem. Made it look nice. That's what before, this is after. Before, after. Before, that was that window. After. All right. Totally look like a totally different house now. Totally different house. That's before, this after. That's why I know it before, because you don't have that bottom piece of that sink. Whatever they call it. I don't know. I didn't do all the work. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, allow you to unmute, ask your questions. I wanted to share that with you. Let me see how to stop sharing the screen where I'm at. All right. So what questions do you have? If you have any, raise your hand. I'll unmute you. No questions? Oh, there we go. Yes.
Hi there. Thanks for the good information, the great information. I took lots of notes, so I appreciate you. My question is, I have several questions, but I won't take up the whole time by asking all of my questions. But you had mentioned about how to purchase under the value of the house. You said about, yeah, I would like to be able to do that. So could you share how to do that?
So the first thing is you got to know comps. You got to understand your market.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you can hear me?
Go ahead. Yes.
So first you need to narrow it down to where you want to buy. You know, where you want to work at, what properties you want. Mm-hmm. Once you start working in that area, you're going to kind of get the set pattern for how much houses are buying for and how much houses are selling for. So that's 2 different things, right? Because some people put them up for sale for one price and then how much people are actually buying it for. So once you narrow down to your local area where you want to stay in that market and fish, it's going to help you out a lot. Okay. Then you're going to notice that this is the trend of the numbers. The numbers are going up or the numbers are going down. And once you know that trend, you want to make sure you're buying it below the amount that everybody else buying it for. If you're buying it for the same amount, then you in the money, you in the market, and you don't want to pay the market. You want to pay below that price. So you want to find a way to put it under contract for at least 60 to 70% of that number. So whenever you find out what people are buying the properties for and they're selling for real, then you want to buy less than that to be in the money. Now you know you got an equity. You got equity because all the other houses are selling for $100,000 and you're buying it at $60,000 or $70,000, right? Or $30,000 and $40,000. My bad, $30,000 and $40,000 because you want to buy it below it so you can have all that equity. Mm-hmm. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. But why would somebody sell it to me for less?
Because you're a bad mother, beep, beep, beep. It's all in the way that you go out there and fish, right? If their house is already can sell for the property, you're not gonna get it. You gotta buy a house that got a problem. You gotta find somebody with a problem. Remember when I said earlier, you have to find somebody with a problem? Mm-hmm. That's the part. That's the magic trick. You gotta find a problem. You can't go out there lowballing people that's got a nice house that can sell for what it's worth. And that's why I bump heads with real estate agents, because this house is worth this amount and you want them to, and they try to sell it for that amount. So guess who have to pay that real estate agent? The seller, right? Mm-hmm. So now you're making the seller pay you to sell their house. And if they got a problem, now you gave them another problem. So I'd rather find somebody with a problem and say, you don't owe me nothing. I'll go find somebody willing to pay me for that. So you got to find somebody with a problem in that area. That's when you start shopping that area, you'll find the problems. How can you find problems? If the grass is overgrown in front of the house, that's a problem. That means somebody's not cutting the grass. If they live there, can they afford it? If you see little sticky notes on the window, big old papers on the windows, vacant home or foreclosed home, or hey, get out, or evictions, or all that type of stuff. These are problems. These are problems. If you see a mailbox with the door down and mail falling out, I don't think anybody live there anymore. So somebody paying taxes, somebody paying insurance, or somebody got to keep paying taxes if they're not paying insurance on a property that's not making any money. You get where I'm going now?
Totally.
Find a problem.
So I'm looking for, right, okay. So I'm looking for like basically I like the pretty houses, but the strategy is to find the ones that aren't that cute.
The pretty houses cause pretty money. The ugly houses cause little money. Little money down. You want little money.
Okay, I thought you said at the beginning of the class, so you said high, what did you say? High end, high risk, high return. What did you mean by that?
So if I go out there and start investing in $1 million houses, okay, you know my profit margin line may be a higher margin. I'm gonna make more money a month because the people that are gonna rent those properties, I'm gonna have a better cash flow, right? But if I'm renting a lower class area in the hoods and neighborhood that's undesirable, that nobody wanna live in, I'm not gonna make as much money. I may make $100 a month on a house in the neighborhood, right? Under, a low income area. If you in a working class area and you're in a house that you rent for like $1,500 a month and that mortgage only $1,200 a month, you make about $200 to $300 a month, right? So I may make $100 in one neighborhood, I may be making $200 or $300 in this neighborhood, but if I go in the house that's worth $500,000 or more, I'm probably going to net worth about $500 to $1,000 over the mortgage. So it's just cash flow. It's just you're going to make more money in nicer neighborhood because you're going to rent it out, and everybody want to live in those areas. They want to go to the better schools, and they're willing to pay more money. Make sense?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep. So it's a good start. Like for me, I wanted to start out safe, and I mean, kind of like with stock money, right? If you start off in stock market, are you going to start out with the Tesla, or are you going to start off with something like water and gas, something that's safe? Water and gas is safe. You're not going to get a big return on your money every month, but you're going to get a return on your money. Excuse me. With Tesla, you may make a great return on your money a lot, but you got to have that Tesla money to afford Tesla. Make sense?
Yeah.
So I'd rather pay for oil and gas, something that's affordable, and I get a slow, steady return on my money. Then I go out there and Tesla, and then all of a sudden it drops and I lose a lot of money, or it gains and I make a lot of money at one time, but it averaged out to be the same thing, like 8%.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Let me put my, if you want to ask more questions, I'll put my link where you get on my schedule. Let me move it on. Let me find it. All right, no problem. Internet moving slow now. Do you have any more questions while I look for that link?
For me?
Yep.
Hold on. Oh, the property management. That was good. I really, I definitely, I've heard both. I've heard, like you say, let somebody else handle it. That seems very attractive to me, to have somebody else handle it. But I have also kind of crunched some numbers, and I guess I did pick up a good pearl from you as far as like shopping it around and talking to several different property managers. But I guess the numbers may not always work out, because it's, from my understanding, some of these property management companies are pretty expensive and they can eat up into your cash flow.
So that's what kind of investor you are, right? You got to know what kind of investor you are. Are you trying to
Mhm.
make money immediately, or are you trying to make money over time? What's more important, your time or your money? You know, sometimes
Mhm.
it's worth paying somebody. Let me put this link in there. Sometimes it's worth paying somebody to handle that while you go out there and find more deals. So if I got a real estate agent and property manager, and they're dealing with all my headaches, and they're dealing with the bookkeeping, they're dealing with the everyday management of that building, and it costs me 10%, and I can go out there and find 2 more properties out there, and I can make more money because they're managing all that mess, and I ain't got to worry about doing no books. I ain't got to worry about doing no toilet, answering the phone. I ain't got to worry about picking up the rent. I ain't got to worry about hounding nobody about late payments and how much you're going to be in the calculations. That's a headache. I'm telling you, it's great money in charging late fees, but it's a headache in sending out that email, send out that letter, send out that certified letter, calling the freaking calling downtown to see when you can get on the docket, going out there, filling out the evictions. Who wants to do that? So if I go out there and find 2 or 3 more properties that pay that money for that property manager, then let me go out there and find 2 or 3 more properties so that whatever you get paid, one property is paying you and all the other properties paying me. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
It,
Would you recommend like having a property management company work after you have a certain number of properties, like maybe after you have like 2 or 3?
So I don't know what your situation is. If you're lazy like me and you just want to make money, then I would say, hey, the sooner the better, right?
Mhm.
But if you want to learn the game, I do believe in getting your fingers dirty, your hands dirty a little bit, just a little bit for me. I don't like getting my hands dirty. So learn the process, learn the headache. But when I first started, I really wanted a property manager around back because they know what they're doing and I don't. So I'll rather get a property manager in place, ask a million questions once they start doing what they're doing. And then if I'm not liking where they're going, dismiss them. Now I got contracts. I have a system that they used already. I just got a lot of information based off of working with them for a while.
Mhm.
Like you work a job, your civilian job that you work every day. You go to work every morning. They pay you to come to work, but if you really pay attention to what HR are doing, what the custodian doing, what the cook's doing, what your secretary doing, you're learning a lot from all of them. And then you write down take these notes down, or take these books, or take these policies home, and then you start creating your own ways. It's the same thing with a property manager. The only thing different is you're buying the knowledge by paying them, and then you get to write that off on your taxes. At the end of the year, you write it off. You getting your money back basically by carrying it on your taxes, and now you get a credit because you did what the American people are supposed to do. Go out there and hire people to work for you. And because you hiring people to work for you, you're doing what Uncle Sam said we're supposed to do, and he rewards you by giving you a tax break.
Love that. Thank you. That was very helpful. I appreciate you.
No problem, no problem, no problem. What you got there, Joe? You muted, brother.
Hey, I've been here with you the whole time, man, and everything you shared, man. It's been, it's been spot on, and I always love hearing the Earl Street story, man. You like you like the old uncle, man. That I always telling the story, But I love it, love it, love it, man, because it just shows to where how you take something that's really not eye appealing, really not, catchy, but whenever you have a strategy and a plan in place for it, you can actually go out and, make something special with it. And I love it that, how many times do we actually, get paid to write our name down, to sign our name? So, and I know that every single time that you've acquired a property, you made money instantly. And so, that's just shows, man, hey, how special you are. And and I know we're approaching the time here very quickly, Coach, and I'm gonna share something with you here because I'm studying this stuff all day, every day. Because I'm trying to figure out. Well, let me not say I'm trying to figure. I'm just continue to watch markets in general, and I find the smart people. I don't want to be the smartest. I don't want to do too much thinking, but I want to find the smartest people, and I want to mirror what they're doing. Mirror what they're doing. So one of the things I've learned is just hey, continue to be a student of life. And what I discovered, and I'll just show you why what we're doing right now is so special. So right now in the US, we're averaging about 4 million childbirths a year. About 4 million childbirths a year. And when it comes to people expiring, deaths, we're averaging about 3 million per year. So that leaves roughly 1 million people, bodies that are going to need somewhere to live eventually. Well, actually, they need somewhere to live immediately, but as they age, they're going to need their own place every single year. So our communities here in the US, we're growing at a rapid rate, So we're 3 million single family doors behind right now. 3 million single family doors. 10 years from now, we're going to be even more behind. So as a result, housing is going to be very scarce. So for those of us that are investing in real estate right now, we have an understanding of what the future is. We're going to be in prime position to truly change the trajectory of our families' lives, of those that follow us, because we're going to be overpopulated, and when you look at just that right there, inflation, if you made $100,000 last year, is equal to about $77,000 this year. You got a pay cut that you didn't even agree to. So rents, goods, services continue to rise. So right now, over a third of applications for apartments right now, over a third is not single, not married, it's roommates. Roommates, over a third right now. So that's telling us that people can't afford to live alone anymore. The tide is changing. So for us, we have to really take this information seriously, get out in front of this, and go out and truly, generate some wealth. Go out and generate some wealth. It can be done. It can be done with your own resources and money, or it can be done with other people's resources and money. It can be. And we do it both ways. But these are the types of conversations that I'm having with my investors now, is just really laying out the importance of, investing in real estate and where we're headed. That's serious. We are averaging 1 million more people per year. 1 million people per year. You add that in 10 years, that's 10 million bodies. And those majority of those people are in large metropolitan areas. So what are we doing? We're consistently raising our rents. And if we're on a fixed mortgage, that mortgage stays the same. Rents continue to increase. So now we have a choice. Do we take the extra cash flow and go take a trip to the Bahamas? Or do we take the extra cash flow and pay off that debt faster? And then as you use it, get a lock and go out, borrow more to expand more. It's so many different strategies, Coach, so many different strategies. So I'm very appreciative of, this group, this platform. It's even more that I would share with you, but that's, for another time. but I know we're at that 9 o'clock, at that hour, that 9 o'clock hour. So I want to be respectful of your time, your platform, and everyone else's as well. But doggone it, hey, I'm fired up. I'm fired up. And hey, look, don't listen to Coach, man. You go out there and get you a pretty nice, sexy house. You go out there and get one. That's what you want. You move right on in there. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
Coach got a real nice, sexy house over there. Hey, his house 3 levels over there. Yeah. Hey, you ain't playing me. Hey, sitting on 2 acres up back there. Hey, anytime you live in an area where the internet is unstable, that tell you they got money. That tell you they got money. Hey, see, my internet is clear, crystal clear. Hey, I'm in here with the other common folks. You out there? No, that boy got money now. He got money. He got money.
Hey,
I appreciate you, Coach. I do.
for sure. Mr. Murray, Miss Murray, do you have any questions before we let y'all go tonight? I did put my link out there if y'all want to get on my schedule to look in the chat box. Okay, hearing none. But brother, thanks for getting on. Thanks for everybody staying on this long. I guess the other people fell off. Nonetheless, great information. This is on Why Wait to Be Great. It's being live right now. It's on YouTube. It's on Instagram. It's on Why Wait to Be Great on Facebook as well. I was able to get through 59 slides in less than an hour. Golly, I did good. I was talking fast.
Bad man.
All right, man. Look, y'all take care. Be safe. We'll talk soon. See y'all. Hey, tomorrow we have a kid in college, man. I talked to one of my little mentees from middle school, man, when I used to be a school teacher. He's going to be on tomorrow to talk about college life and some other things. So 8 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock y'all time, it's Central Standard. And then Wednesday we'll meet again. So every day this week, same time, same link. Take care.